I do. It's a top three, and they're all numerically on my grading sheet. They're the same grade. So, like, keep saying this. It's not an easy way out either. I really do mean this. It's going to be based on the scheme where these guys go. There are very different players. Simpson, Campbell, Sanders. Simpson, I want to use Isaiah Simmons as an example. If you draft this kid, you have to have a plan for him. Arizona obviously did not have a plan for Isaiah Simmons. I mean, he's their nickelback now, right? He was an edge rusher. He was an inside linebacker. Like, what do we do? Yeah,
that's why he might even be traded.
Yeah, he might even be traded this year. We'll see. But Trenton Simpson is the most explosive linebacker in this class, and he is smart. He's versatile. He's a great blitzer, but he doesn't show great feel. And you almost had that same sense with the Simmons coming out. They play different kind of roles and different players themselves. But that's one thing out of a linebacker I want to see more of, is a guy that really can forecast and take the proper first 2-3 steps post snap. Simpson, I don't always. And so I really want to reinforce the idea that whoever does take him, you're getting a good player, high intangible leader, team captain type. But you need to have a plan for him. You can't just throw him at your mic and hope for the best.
And Campbell was like your old school middle linebacker, but he's got skills. He's not your fifth round. And look at what happened last year too with Rodriguez, who doesn't have the ability and the size like Campbell, but he had all that production, and you were like, wow, maybe this could be a nice steal for Detroit, and it sure ended out that way. But now you got a guy though that's that middle linebacker role though. But this guy's got all the tools you're looking for, and any team that's within it that needs one of those guys is gonna really. I doubt they're gonna go. All right, well we'll look for that guy next year, because those guys just don't come around very often anymore.
Great lead into this fact. Since 2010, he's one of 7 guys that has measured 6'4.5" or taller. And, think about how out of over 300 linebackers since 2010, he's one of 7 that's measured that big. And then he blows up the combine in a good way with his 3-cone short shuttle 40. Then you watch his tape and like, this guy knows what he's doing. He checks a lot of boxes. So if you're looking for a traditional linebacker or you're looking for something safe, this is the guy. And this is a guy that I think is going to go higher than people think. I think he's a better version of Leighton Vander Esch. And, he's dealt with injuries and maybe he's fallen out of favor a little bit. But if you remember back to when he started off his career, he was a stud.
He was real good, yep.
And I believe Campbell's going to have a similar impact.
All right. And Sanders, that's a guy that's about speed.
Yeah, speed and pass rush, right? I mean, this kid went to Alabama, remember, right? And they were using him as an edge rusher only. And he wanted to play off ball. He goes to Arkansas, becomes an All-American. There's a lot of unknown with him. Let's talk about this real quick. Sanders played 1,182 snaps in college. All right, so 1,182 snaps. 710 of them were off the line. So as an off-ball linebacker, just 700 snaps, which is not a lot. Okay, I'll give you a comparison. Campbell, off the line, just under 2,000. So almost 3 times the many. And Simpson played 1,400, just under 1,500 snaps and just under 1,100 snaps off the ball. So Sanders, and this comes across in Sanders' tape, because I looked at these numbers after I watched him. He just kind of looks like he doesn't really know what he's doing as an off-ball linebacker. Okay. But he's a pass rusher. He'll make a difference there.
All right. And so, but you do have him, you don't have him as an edge rusher. So nope. You think that he is going to, do you think they're going to look at him in a pass rusher's role, like maybe Hassan Reddick?
Yeah, there's a few of these schemes that the buck linebacker in their scheme is off ball on running downs or non-pass rush packages. And then on pass rush packages, they go and play the outside linebacker, rush linebacker role. Okay. I think that's the kind of fit. He won't go in top 10, but the Patrick Graham's defense that they're running in Las Vegas, I think that's the kind of scheme that he fits best into.
All right. And then is there when you start with Pace at 4, how far do you go down before you take another grouping?
From Sanders to Pace?
From Pace to
Chioto and Dorian Williams.
Dorian Williams. Oh, so it's just those next 3. So you go the next 3. Okay.
Yeah, I would say the next 3 are kind of clustered together. I'm a huge Pace guy. I'm probably higher on him than most, if not everyone. I think he has he's an anomaly to me. The size is not good. He's under 6 foot. He's got really short arms, but I'm gonna take a chance on him. And
didn't he have a good Senior Bowl? Was it?
He had a dominant Senior Bowl. He couldn't be blocked. And there's a skill that some of these small linebackers have. You have to really look for it. That they're so good at missing contact from blockers, especially he was a demon as a pass rusher. It's a skill as an off-ball linebacker. How good are you at blitzing, right? And can you actually be a part of a pass rush as a blitzing linebacker? Some guys you watch in the NFL, they just run right into the ball. They don't know how to miss a blocker. He does. He actually uses his size to an advantage. And we've talked about him. He's a bowling ball in terms of what he does to guys that he comes in contact with. He's just elite power, elite short area burst, a Miami of Ohio transfer that goes to Cincinnati. And then, so he goes up in competition and plays the best football of his career by a wide margin. Don't we all want that, right? A guy that jumps from college to the NFL and you see him elevate his game. That's who Pace is.
All right. And by the way, I've said this before. I really like Williams. I think Dorian Williams could be a very intriguing player at the next level. Let's not forget Tulane. It was all about their defense. They had such a great year, beating USC in one of the more exciting bowl games of the year. It was a tremendous season, and he was a big part of that. When you go to their next group, you have Henley, Moore, and how do you pronounce this guy's name?
Popo.
Popo?
Yep.
Henley, Moore, Popo, and Herbig. And that wraps up your top 10. And then 11 through 20, you got Miller, Hayward, Overshown, Sewell, Banks, Winters, Land, Mapu, Davis, and Jones. Give me a home run.
The home run outside of that top 10 to me would be Shaka Hayward from Duke. Comes from a program that many people just don't really pay attention to. But I think he put himself on the radar a little bit with the combine. Just the gifts that he has, the combination of size, speed, length, and then the combination of roles that he was using at Duke. This is a versatile linebacker. In every situation, he could be something for you. I went back and watched even more tape because I'm higher than him than most. I don't see him in anyone's top 20, let alone top 15. And I'm going to keep him right there where I have him because I think he's smart. Coaches love him, can play multiple roles, and has athletic gifts that are going to show up on Sundays.
Yeah, where does our lads officially have him at?
I did not even check that.
By the way, they have Dorian Williams. They're not as high on Dorian Williams as you or I.
Yeah.
They have him as a 5th or a 6th round draft pick.
Williams is about upside. And in my final write-up that I just have for myself is I said he has every bit of the upside of the linebackers in front of him. Is just going to have to get a little bit more stout. And one thing that you could see on tape pretty easily, he's on the wrong side of blockers a lot. And that's a little bit of an issue with, like, you can call it instincts, you can call it power. But if he learns a couple simple technique things or he just learns the game a little bit better, can understand offenses, the complexity of blocking schemes, he has the physical upside of everyone in this class.
Okay, and who worries you the most in the top 10?
Nick Herbig, a guy that some are saying is an immediate day 2 pick. His damage in college was done as an edge rusher. I don't believe he has the skill set or the tools to be a good edge rusher. It's almost, I hate to bring up the school comparison. It reminds me a lot of Zach Bond. When he came into the league, a lot of guys, he's going to be a great, situational pass rusher, off-ball linebacker. And here we are years into his career, and he just hasn't done anything, right? It's almost sometimes these players that come out of college, jack of all trades, master of none. It works in college, but they don't have that one trait that helps them consistently win. And I don't believe he's going to be good enough in coverage to stay on the field as an off-ball linebacker. So what are we really doing with him? That's my question.